Hi everyone. So I have been talking a lot around CVs and what can you include to enhance your CV to create that first impression in front of your hiring manager while you submit your application. Hence, I also wanted to talk a little about the mistakes that you can avoid while you draft your CV or get it reviewed. So let's start from the top. You add your personal information on the top. You can maybe avoid vague sentences such as I'm hardworking or I'm looking for a challenging role, etc. Rather, you could mention one of the highest accomplishments or achievement that you've had, or a project that you've been successfully running, or any other information about your professional experience that is quite substantial, relevant and evidence based skill set, or anything that is very relevant rather than anything that is unclear. Second will be too much information on your CV. Recruiters really want to understand what you do at your current job, what you specialize at. So just keep it very short. Every experience should not have more than 3 to 4 elaboration or explanation about your projects that you're working upon. Third would be irrelevant details. If you are 5+ years in your career, you do not want to mention what you've done in high school. That will not be relevant and outdated. So fourth will be your unprofessional email addresses. If you have something around coolguy@gmail.com, angel@gmail.com, that will not give a professional impression about you. Your email address should be very professional, relevant to your name, full name, company, etc. That would also be fine. Fifth will be you're not quantifying your achievements. Any project that you're working on, from where did it start, how did it end, if you give that will give a strong credibility to your work and to your candidature at a whole. Sixth will be skipping keywords which are there in the job description. I've also mentioned it earlier that go through the job description very thoroughly. Understand what are the key requirements and the key skill set. Try and include them in your CV so that it stands quite relevant, so that ATS screening and ATS can also shortlist your CV to move ahead. So sixth will be poor formatting. So the recruiter or the hiring manager will always try and understand how are you able to communicate your experience through this document, right? Even if it is a very short stint at a professional experience, how are you able to sell yourself? What is the substantial work that you've done? What are you able to take out of it? The learnings. So whenever you start creating your CV, you start with your name. On the left hand side you can have education, your personal information, and on the right hand side you can have the organization name, your role, and a 3-pointer description about what you've done. Seventh point can be avoiding clichés. I'm hardworking, I'm a multitasker, I am good at time management. Whatever skills that you mention in your CV have to be backed by your experience, and those skills demonstrated through your experience will always add on value to your candidature. Ninth would be, in case you have any gaps in your stints or CV, you should explain it in a one-liner format. That is always gives clarity to the hiring manager or the recruiter in terms of what did you do in that stint. Even if it is a personal emergency, you can write it within a 2-word format, that it was a personal exigency, personal emergency, and or if it's a professional exploratory phase that you took out, you can just mention it. If you don't want to give any details, that is okay, but do mention the timeline, which is very important. So ninth would be no contact information. You would really be surprised to the amount of CVs that are received that have missed contact information or their email addresses or phone numbers, and I am unable to reach them at all. So this is also one thing that you really should review. 10th is including personal information, whether you're married or not, what age are you, or what religion do you belong to, what region do you belong to. A very detailed house address is not at all required in the CV. It's a public document, it can float around and can backfire you in any way. So just for safety purposes and relevance purposes, it is not required. Any personal information, nobody has that right. Maybe in the interview, but on a document you don't need to state all of these personal information. The 11th point is that overloading your CV with too many jargons. The more simpler you keep it, the more explanatory you keep it, it will help your chances to go to the interview and be very sharp. The right people will choose you for the right skill set that you've mentioned in your CV. You don't need to fabricate it or show something that you've not done. It will always attract a wrong job for you. And the last but not the least is listing references on your CV. So in case you want to mention the references, you can, but in case you want to save that space, you can just write references can be shared as per request. So these were all the points that I had from my end. In case there's any help that you need or require your CV to be reviewed by me, do DM and share your CV with me. I will go through and give you the relevant feedback. Or in case you need a sample CV to refer to, I'm happy to share that as well. Thank you so much. So a few tips to enhance your CV would be, it is okay for the CV to be 2-pager as long as you are including all the information in a concise format. You can also add your portfolio link or a LinkedIn profile link to your CV on the personal information section. Always use action words or a past tense that you've done something, led, managed, responsible for, completed, targeted, directed. Anything that is done and can give you credibility that this is the project completely led by you will give a leadership impression to your candidature. Thank you so much.